I'm built to win. Apply myself. I felt it in. No time for that doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss.
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
Found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me keep on running toes. They gonna take
This is what we got to tell.
This man doing this.
I felt it in. No time for that doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I felt it in. No time for that doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
There it is. Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. My name is Joe Jordan. We have a great episode for y'all today. Yesterday, we covered the NFC Division winners, division seeding really in each division. And now today, we gotta cover the AFC. But before we do that, I got two of my bros with me. I got Davey Dollars. I know he's excited today. You can see his background. And I got my man, Mr. Get Done Something himself. Tomo, how y'all doing, fellas?
Man, I'm doing good. I ain't doing better than Dave, but I'm doing good. All I know is maybe 2 years from now, I'll be feeling like Dave.
Hey,
my man reset the market.
He did that for you. He did that for you. He did that for you. I'm amped. I'm amped. All I know is these predictions. My guy, you in the doghouse. That's all I got to say. Some of these predictions I see, yeah. That's where you need to go. Some of y'all smoking the wrong chronic. Y'all might need to smoke something else. But it's winning Wednesday, and it's the best day to be happy because Bosa got his contract. So go ahead and turn me up, Tomo. Turn me up. Up. Hey, I'm ready for today. I ain't got much to say, but just know Bosa is feeling $107 million.
Woo!
170 million, 122.5 million guaranteed, $50 million signing bonus. He's feeling a lot happier today. And so
how many years?
5 years.
Woo!
Bring me my money.
Whoa. Hold on. How much is that a year? You said how much is guaranteed?
122.5.
Yes, that's almost that's getting
30. It is.
It's the richest contract in defensive history.
Cheese. Chris Jones.
They don't. I'm telling you, man. Hey, they say Justin Jefferson about to sign too. Hey, Jerry, get CD on the phone, man, before you do the same. Man, they passing out money, man. They passing out money like super chats in the NFL.
Hey, I like that. But look, y'all, before we get into the show,
you'll see week one. You'll see week one.
New year, new day. It don't matter. Okay, we'll see. All right, so look, make sure y'all like this video on 3 different platforms. All right, we are on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure you share this video on all 3 platforms: Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And subscribe, follow on all 3 platforms. Right now, we're sitting around 873, I believe, subscribers on the road to 1,000. All right. And use that comment section. We can see the comments y'all will be putting down throughout the show. Shout out to the people in the comments so far. We got Vaughn, see Vaughn in the comments, see Kevo in the comments, right? So shout out to y'all for being in the comments early. Any super chat, like Tomo said, that comes in, gets bumped to the front, and you will see as it's being displayed throughout the show. And last but not least, enjoy the rest of the show. Tomo, floor is yours.
Look, like Joe said earlier, we talked about the NFC conference yesterday. You know, we heard about some of these predictions backstage, and Y'all kill us on the show, but just wait till you see these come out on Instagram. man, oh man. So this week we're gonna talk about the AFC. And we really gotta start. We're gonna do it in the same order. So if you watched the show yesterday, we went NFC South first. So we're gonna do the same thing today.
We can do the North last. If you got all those in the chat.
Yeah. That's the most controversial one. So you know how we're gonna say that. I gotta save that one for life. So I'm glad you said that. Actually, we should do East first because that's the one, the video jumping, right? That panel did numbers. So we're going to take it on down south to one of the most controversial divisions right now in football. And we're going to talk about the AFC South. And because it's down south, you know, with Florida at, somebody be repping the U all the time. So we're going to start with you, Dave. Who you got winning this division?
So I got the Jaguars winning this division. I got the Jags winning. I got the Titans finishing second. I believe the Colts will finish last, which leaves. Why can I not get this team? Texans. Oh, sorry, my bad. So
they took your coach. That's why.
So yeah, I believe the Texans will finish third. But I think 3 and 4 will be pretty close. For one, this is Bryce, the CJ Stroud's first season in NFL, with a new rookie head coach, my guy, you know, who was defensive coordinator with us last year. So I think they're going to be a formidable foe. He also has Will Anderson on the defensive side that they drafted. You know, came out of Alabama, so he's going to be a really good defensive player. Could win defensive rookie of the year, so who knows what's going to happen. We got some other guys to talk about, but I believe with the addition of Calvin Ridley with the Jaguars, that helps that team. They already made the playoffs last year without Calvin Ridley, and I think he does nothing but help them out. So I believe Trevor Lawrence is going to have a better year this year. That's not to say he had a bad year last year, but I think he's going to have an even better year this year with Calvin Ridley. Christian Kirk, so he has 2 weapons out there now. So I got Jaguars winning that division.
Joe?
All right. So at 4, Colts. Colts are not going to be good this year at all. They just not a good team. So Richardson, I think that he's not ready to be that guy is going to carry him places. He's going to have moments in games, but it's going to be rare he puts together a complete game. Really, I think this whole year, maybe towards the back end of the season, he might get a win when he played well, but early on, I think it's going to be bad. But it's going to be learning curves for him though. So it's going to be a kind of a good bad for his career. Number 3, I got the Texans. I think the Texans are going to be that team because they're really young. They're really young defensively and offensively. They got D'Amico Ryan as a first-time head coach. And I think the Texans are going to start slow because of growing pains. And then the second half of the year, people are going to be like, man, I can see a bright future in the Texans. All right, I told y'all yesterday in the chat, CJ Stroud, I think he's going to have a decent year this year. I think he's going to be really decent this year. So I got them 4th, and I like their defense too. Number 2, as a close second, people think the Jazz are going to run away with this division. The Titans are going to give them a run for their money. One thing about the Titans, the Titans are like the Patriots. Bill Belichick, I look at the roster since Tom Brady left, right? I look at the roster for the Patriots, and I'm like, man, there's no way they're going to contend for the playoffs. And every year, at the end of the season, they're in a fight and a hunt to make the playoffs. That's the Titans. I don't know how they got into contention last year. They were a game. They would have beat the Jazz at the end of the season. They would have made the playoffs with Josh Dobbs as the quarterback. So I got the Titans finishing at the close second, if not number 1. Don't be surprised if the Titans win this division. And at number 1, I just got the Jazz because they're just more talented than everybody else in the division. Sure, I mean, they gotten better. Yeah, I'm sure about that. They gotten better. They got the best quarterback. The AFC South is probably the weakest quarterback division in the NFL outside of in the AFC. And the AFC is loaded with quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence is going to be great this year, right? He's going to be really good this year. The defense is good. I like the weapons they have. They added Calvin Ridley from last year. So, yeah, I just by default, I have the Jags winning, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Tigers won.
So for me, I mean, it seemed like we all read the same notes. We wrote the same. We read the same smart tech. If you in the chat, you know what I'm talking about. Because I got the Colts at 4th, Texans at 3rd, Titans at 2, and Jacksonville winning this division. But Joe, like similar thoughts as far as with the Titans, because they could literally steal this one. Because if Jacksonville starts off bumpy like they did in that playoff game, the Titans could steal this division. Because you think they got King Henry back, Tannehill gonna be back, and they got D-Hop. With some people would say the AJ Brown replacement and Traylon Burks. So that's another young receiver who gets to learn from D-Hop.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that there, and their defense is nothing to sleep on because technically they were winning games last year with majority of their defense hurt. Trust me, I know. I watched the Cowboys game and they almost beat us, and all their starters was out. All right. So look at it like that. So technically, but the Jags, the edge out for me is coaching. I mean, well, it's really not an edge out because Dougie P. And I like Mike Variable. I like him.
Yeah, I like Mike Vrabel too, but Dougie P got a Super Bowl ring.
He do. That's that slight edge that I give him. That's it. But other than that, what was Mike Variable? Where did he come from? Where did he come from? The Pats, right?
From New England.
Came from a winning coach.
He was a player, not a coach. So, but he still has that Patriot mentality. I can tell.
And who's his quarterback?
With
the Jags. No, I'm talking about the Jags.
Come on, Doug P. Yeah.
Now I'm talking about Dougie P. Sunshine. I mean, they showed us in that, like I said, like we said earlier, that playoff game showed us that they can come back when they're down, backs against the wall. Hey, if you can win a Super Bowl with Nick Foles in Philadelphia, you can do anything in Jacksonville, bro. So I believe in you. I got the Jags winning this division. And if you all don't like it, say something in the comments.
Hey, well, seems like somebody likes it. Kev does. Kev got the same order we got. So
about time you agree with us, man. He learning. He learning.
Seems like Kev's watch is working this season.
For now.
At least for that division.
For now, because somebody else needs another watch and go to another time zone because they mile high right now. We gotta talk about that AFC West. Man, I thought the AFC South was controversial with the Colts kicking their running back out, starting quarterbacks who they shouldn't have drafted so early. Meanwhile, we go out west. We got one team who won the Super Bowl, but everybody getting hurt. Defensive tackles don't want to play. Then you go down to Vegas. You got another pass rusher who like, man, I'm just going to post everything on the ground. We don't even want to talk about what's going on in Denver. We don't want to go there because Sean Payton is on a whole nother wave. So we got to talk about who's going to win this division. And I'm going to start this one off because, it's personal for me. Kellen Moore decided to go to the Chargers. So I got to talk about this division. This one was a tough one. We all know who's the best quarterback in that division. It's Patrick Mahomes. We also know the Chiefs sometimes, like, this is one of the most shakiest off seasons for them. Like, we all believe in, we're banking on the Chiefs to win this division because of Patrick Mahomes, which is not a bad thing to do. Mm-hmm. But when you get Kellen Moore, who had the number one offense with a quarterback called Dak Prescott and a defense that wasn't the best up until the last 2 years, you put him with a Chargers team who defense is somewhat in that same ballpark. They got a younger brother of a guy who just got paid, and they got a up-and-coming quarterback who likes to throw the ball. They could steal this division this year. I got the Chargers winning this division. I got the Chiefs coming in second. Travis Kelce right now, he seemed like he breaking down. Yesterday, my man, my research department called, told me that Tony ain't the best. His injury history ain't that good. So, and if they don't get Jones back, that's a defensive line member they missing. So Chiefs second. I got Russ and them coming in at third. I don't think Russ gonna be there that long. For some reason, Sean Payton trying to turn the Broncos into the Saints. That's what he doing. And then the Raiders, WTF. Like, we don't know what's going on right now. They got Jimmy G, but the whole situation with the pass with Chandler Jones is not looking too pretty over there. So that's my order. Dave?
I'm finding it hard to not have the Chiefs win this division. But Tomo, you made a great case for the Chargers. However, I'm still gonna go with the Chiefs.
Where the money at?
I don't know, man. Last year, I felt like he was. I didn't think it was going to be a big step back, but I felt like it was going to be a step back because Tyreek was gone. All he had was Juju. They got Kadarius Toney at the end, close to the end of the season, and then Chris Jones had 15 and a half sacks last year, or somewhere close to that. So they were doing pretty good without having a lot of weapons on the offensive side. Still don't have that dynamic running back. The best running back they had since was Kareem Hunt. He's not even there anymore. So I got the Chiefs winning, Chargers second. I have the Raiders third, and I have the Broncos last. I am not a believer in Russell Wilson at all. I was before. I've defended him before, and I said that he had, an MVP-like season, and last year was atrocious, to say the least. Now, I do believe in Sean Payton. I believe that he will do whatever he can to help this team win, but I'm not sure what Russell Wilson's mindset is when it comes to football. And for one, Sean Payton doesn't either, because when he first came in, he told that man, stop kissing babies. So, it's not about your Hollywood lifestyle. It's about football. But, and then they do have some injury issues with Jerry Jeudy, again, still kind of sort of, dealing with some injuries right now. But I don't think it's going to be an easy win for the Chiefs to win this division. I think it's going to be very, very close between them and the Chargers. I think they edge them by a game. Because of the Chris Jones situation not being there, because of Travis Healthy possibly being out for multiple games. Who knows if he's going to be out or how long he'll be out. So I think that's gonna hurt him. And Jimmy Garoppolo, with the Raiders, he does know that offense. So I believe he'll have games similar to how Jarrett Stidham did last year when he played against the 49ers. With Devontae Adams there, but like I said, I just believe that the two best teams in this division right now are the Chargers and the Chiefs. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers win, but right now I have the Chiefs win this division.
All right. Number 4, Broncos. Let's get that out of the way. All right. I mean, they got injuries again. They got new offensive line. I don't know how it's going to look throughout the whole season. I am confident they'll get better. I don't think Russ is the ultimate problem. They don't have an offensive line for him. And once again, the receivers are getting hurt, just like last year. Javonte Williams, I mean, is he going to play the whole season? So I got them at 4. Number 3, the Raiders. I only have the Raiders over the Broncos because of chemistry between Jimmy G and the playbook. Like, Jimmy G know that system. They still got Devontae Adams. I mean, they still got players on the defensive side of the ball. So do the Broncos. The Broncos, last year, we saw how great their defense was. Still going to be good this year. But it's the offense we worry about with the Broncos. And so I still think the Raiders can still put up points. They can still score points. Broncos, I'm still unsure about that. So I got the Raiders being 3rd, even though Chandler Jones is having his issues with them. Number 2, all right? Now, the Chiefs, right? They lost 2 offensive linemen. One went to the Bengals, one came to Washington. We all know that. Travis Kelce is injured. Chris Jones is having his contract talks. But I'm going to go with the Chargers number 2. I'm sorry. I mean, it's like saying, I don't know. I can't do that to Mahomes. He has to show me that he's not going to win the division.
Yeah, remember last year you felt like the Raiders were winning, and
don't even remind people of that, David.
You said the same exact words though. You like, they got to show me that they can.
Yeah, never again. I'm not going to bet against Mahomes. I can't. I mean, the dude. 2 years ago, he started off terrible, remember? And then everybody written him off, and they bounced back and went on the win streak and won the number 1 seed once again. So I mean, not only he's been winning his division, he's been sweeping it. Like, not just sweeping it, he's been having like 1 losses a year. Like, he's been dominating the AFC West. So I'm not going to say he's going to lose his division. Even though I think the Chargers are going to make a big leap this year from last year, because that defense is going to be, hopefully they're going to be healthy. I saw J.C. Jackson, right? He said he's not on the injury report at all. Khalil Mack, James, Derwin James, Joey Bosa. So
he said they got a defense room full of grown men. That's what he said. Remember? That's what James said.
Yeah. Hey. Joey Bosa is the older brother, by the way, Tomo.
Okay, my bad.
Well, he probably told my dad for his performance, but
you can't tell. I mean, you can't tell, right? You see JJ and TJ, you know who the older brother in that situation.
So we haven't really seen a four season with him and Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack, y'all know how good he is, So I think Kellen Moore about to unleash Justin Herbert. Oof. But I got the Chiefs, man. I'm gonna roll with the Chiefs first, Chargers second, Raiders third, and the Broncos fourth.
Joe, you forgot one more element too with that Chiefs with them losing offensive linemen. They lost their offensive play caller as well. That's what I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
According to the world, he wouldn't play caller, so I ain't mentioning it.
Hey, a little bit. I saved that for my rebuttal section. I was gonna say I was waiting for somebody to say something, but I mean that's what made me go with the Chargers a little bit to be like, hey, they got a new play caller who was the number one offense.
Matt Nagy calling plays.
I'm just saying.
Hey, I mean, as long as Brandon Staley is there, I think some issues will be made.
Hey,
as long as he's the head coach,
is when you lay your head on that pill at night. I gave you everything I had.
It's funny with that sound bit, you gotta be quiet and let that thing ride.
Facts. That's why I was like, all right, I'm not gonna say nothing after this. But Brandon Staley made some head scratching mistakes the last 2 seasons, man. So I'm not sure. I think with those mistakes, those mistakes could easily make them finish third. Just those mistakes alone. But I feel like Justin Herbert, not just having 2 weapons, but he now has 3 weapons because they did draft a receiver this year. And that receiver is going to be really nice. I think he's going to be really good with them. So, and then they still have Austin Eckler. So just run the ball a little bit more. Kellen Moore, I'm talking to you.
He's gonna learn his lesson. He got something to prove. You know who else got something to prove? Refuse to lose in all our shows. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, Tom, I was ready to cut you off, but you're on point. My man on point. Let's get it. So let's look, we got other shows, y'all. It's not just the R2L show you see right here, but like Tom said, we got other shows. We want to give a shout out to BWT, Baseball with Teddy. All baseball content from Refuse to Lose, go through this show, y'all. All right. Teddy's the beast, man. I was listening to Coach episode today, and he mentioned how Teddy goes deep into everything. Like he talks about people who's going from the minors to the majors and everything. Like you don't really hear that on your everyday baseball show, So if you are a diehard fan, like a regular fan, basic fan, or somebody who wants to learn about baseball, you can tune into BWT and fit right in. All right. So shout out to Teddy, BWT. He's actually recording the episode tonight. That will be airing tomorrow with my man Jovan. Shout out to Jovan. Secondly, shout out to CTC, Carl Talking College. All right. Carl, man, hardworking dude, watches every game, covers every single game. All right, CTC. So I like that, Dave. And he just went over all 24 games for week 1. He previewed it and recapped it. He's going live tonight around 9:30. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. And it's going to give y'all a preview of week 2. All right. So if you're a college fan, college basketball, college football, Carl is your guy. Trust me. All right. I don't know. Nobody knows more about college sports than Carl. All right.
Man.
So that's that. And lastly, we got FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. Now, this fantasy football is like right now is hot. Everybody did their drafts probably already. Everybody excited about the season. You want to know about fantasy? You want fantasy advice? Come listen. Tune in to FFC with Coach Coombs. He actually has an episode airing right after us at 8:30. So make sure y'all tune into that. And what he did on that, he's going to talk about the game because he's a football guy. He got to talk about the game tomorrow. And he broke down a few fantasy rosters. All right. We had a few guys from the R2L chat send him rosters, and he actually graded them. He's going to break them down and grade the rosters. All right. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that at 8:30 p.m. tonight. Tomo, floor is yours.
First things first, hey coach, long as you better than that auto simulated grade that came out after our draft. That's all I'm saying. I believe in you more than that AI.
That was confusing. Very confusing.
Shout out to the guys going 3-13. But when you talking about the AFC East, I don't think nobody in the AFC East going 3-13 unless you got a personal vendetta with one of these teams. So we got to talk about the AFC East. I mean, it was Brady division for a while. Aaron Rodgers following Brett Favre's footsteps. He became a Jet. Dave, who you got winning? You did the panel, so you know you had to go first. Great show, by the way, too.
Yeah,
I figured, hey, AFC East doing numbers. They took over the division panel. All the panels were great, but you know, so this was, to me, this was the toughest one to pick. I feel like this was not the easiest one to pick as far as who's going to finish last and who's going to finish first. But based on what I've seen and just based on history as well, although this team should be vastly improved, I think the Jets will finish last in this division. It's hard for me to see a team on Hard Knocks be able to make a deep run or just even make a run in the playoffs. It's happened. I think the Cowboys was the last team that was on Hard Knocks that made the playoffs.
I don't know.
They did that season. I think
could have been.
I thought it was the Jets. I think it was the Jets before that.
Didn't the Browns make the playoffs when they went to Hard Knocks? Oh no.
Nah, that was a bad year.
No, they missed it. So not too many teams do well when they are on Hard Knocks. So that's one of that is probably the biggest reason why I'm doing this, just simply because they're on Hard Knocks. Even though I do believe that Aaron Rodgers helps this team, I just feel like that's going to happen. I do have the Pats finishing third, so I have the Patriots finishing third. They could easily finish last, simply because their defense is good, and that they don't have to worry about Jack being suspended because the charges were dropped. So more than likely he's going to be playing in the season this year. Mac Jones has an offensive coordinator now, you know, as Teddy likes to say, mac and cheese. So I don't know. I'm not being nice. I'm not being nice. This has nothing to do with them two. But trust me, I don't
Get out of here. Get out of here.
I don't believe in the Patriots. I'm sorry. I don't believe in them. I just think that it's going to be a close last finish between those two. Simply because of everything that deals with the Jets. Now, it was also difficult because the Bills did win this division last year. Josh Allen is considered an MVP candidate, but Tua was also an MVP candidate last year as well. You have Tyreek, Jalen Waddle. You got Raheem Mostert back there with Jeff Wilson Jr. And you now have a really good defensive coordinator with Vic Fangio. And if you know I'm a Niners fan, so you know how I feel about Vic Fangio. I think that defense is going to be vastly improved. So I have the Bills finish the second and the Dolphins win this division.
So, Joe? Oh.
All right, I'm going to start from the top and go to the bottom. Number one, the Dolphins. I have the Dolphins winning this division. Shout out to my man J-Mo, like he always said, as long as Tua keep his head in the game, no pun intended, then they'll win this division for sure. All right?
Tubby Tua.
So they are the most talented team in this division. All right, to me. They have two running backs, and when I say the talent matches the scheme. All right. You have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, two speedsters Then you got Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert, who played with the 49ers, who knows that system, right? Mostert's another track star. All right. The defense got great players on the defensive side, but last year couldn't just put it together. With Vic Fangio, that's a big play. They have two great play callers on both sides of the ball. That's so rare in today's NFL, where you see a Hall of Fame type play caller on the defensive side, and Mike McDaniel, he's legit on the play calling side offensively. All right. So I got this. Okay. So the Dolphins, right? Number 2, Buffalo Bills, man. Buffalo Bills. I can't disrespect the Bills, man. The Bills, they still got Josh Allen. Think about this. The Bills had injuries last year. Stephon Diggs issues last year and still won, 13, 14 games last year? Like, think about that. So with all that trouble, they still, and with injuries on defense too, outside of Von Miller, they were still able to be the number 2 seed in the AFC, right? So I'm going to pick them to win, to be second in the division. If not win the division, if Tua can't stay healthy, then the Bills will win this division. All right. Number 3, y'all. Dave, I agree. I agree, man. Listen, man. Think about this. The Patriots had a defensive coordinator calling offensive plays, and they were one game away from making the playoffs. That's including a game when Mac Jones got stiff armed by Chandler Jones against the Raiders. That's including a game where Stevenson fumbles in the red zone against the Bengals just to seal the game.
Gifts.
I'm telling you, I look at this Patriots roster every single year, and I'm like, how in the world are they going to make it to the playoffs? In some way, somehow, Bill Belichick get them in the hunt. They have Bill O'Brien as their offensive coordinator, somebody that Mac Jones is familiar with. He was Alabama with Mac Jones. So, and they went and got better at the receiving corps. I believe like Juju's better than everybody had last year. So I like what they got, man. And then the Patriots defense is going to be legit once again. They're going to be a top 10 defense again. People forget I think they were tied in takeaways last year.
And from what I remember, they were second in sacks last year as well.
Crazy, right? So I think it was tied. Maybe I was exaggerating. But with Matt Judon on board, man. So I got the Patriots finishing 3rd and the Jets finishing last. Like, this division, like David said, could go out of order. Right? It's gonna be a close race. And I didn't want to put the Jets last, but how can the Patriots not improve from last year when they had a defensive coordinator calling plays, man? How? All right. So I got the Patriots being the 3rd and the Jets finishing last. I like the fact that Aaron Rodgers is there. They got defensive players. It makes sense. The Jets gonna get better. They had a worst quarterback play out of anybody last year, and they still almost made the playoffs. So I get it. I understand, y'all. I get it. But it's just a close race in the AFC East. I'm sorry. I'm going to pick Belichick over Robert Saleh any day. This is how it is. So that's what I got.
Man. First of all, Dave, this was not hard. The way you went down this list, this was not hard. The next division we got to talk about may be a little more tougher than this. For me. Yeah, I'm going to say for me.
I agree.
This was hard for me. I was just speaking personally. For me, it wasn't easy.
I mean, because both of y'all got the Jets finishing last in this division. Like, let me ask you one question: what changed?
I know, right?
What changed? Because I know we did an episode saying who gonna get to the playoffs first? Is it the Lions or the Jets? And I mean, majority of us said it's the Lions because they're in the NFC. But like Aaron Rodgers,
I'm gonna make it.
Uh-oh.
I'm with Joe. I don't think the Lions will make it. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean that's yesterday. Let me keep this truck. Let me keep this bus moving forward.
Crazy Tomo. I think that the Jets are a bigger threat in the playoffs than the Patriots are. But it's just about that daggone Belichick and that team, man. They some way, somehow win games.
Yeah. Man. I just feel like somehow he's going to find a way. And then Bill O'Brien, he's familiar with New England. So it's not like he ain't been there before. He's been there before. He just, I don't know, man. It's just I just sense it happening. But go ahead, Tomo.
I see where y'all going, but the Pats gonna finish last in this division. I'm sorry.
Okay.
This team cut all of their backup quarterbacks just to show Mac Jones they believe in him, only to bring them back on the practice squad. I think they were trying to make that trade for Trey Lance, but that's neither here nor there. So I got them finishing last. I got Aaron Rodgers coming in third because of that offense. Because of that offensive line, it's still a little shaky, and I can see him getting frustrated. I think this season for the Jets, outside of week 2 when they got to play the Cowboys, and that's the only time that team gonna look like a Super Bowl team is when they play the Cowboys. But outside of that game, it's gonna look like the Packers from last year where they're trying to get some things in order, and then at some moment they're just gonna strike fire, but it's gonna be a little too late because the Bills and Josh Allen and my man Diggs, they're gonna go on a camping trip and they're gonna figure out that they need each other because they made each other's careers. Like at the end of the day, it's FJA, but when Diggs got there, his name went up a little bit more in the lights. Like he got up in the big lights, and Josh Allen's stats did increase. So they're made for each other. As much as they want to argue on the sideline, they're made for each other. Get a running back, and the Bills may be dangerous. All right. But of course, we all know the Dolphins are gonna win this. We said this as soon as they signed what's my boy name? What's the cornerback? As soon as they signed Jalen Ramsey, we said this is one of the most dangerous teams in that division.
Kev called this, so he's not gonna play.
But technically, hey, he could be hurt and not playing, but him being in that locker room is going to help another rookie step up. It's not like an Anthony Brown situation where, Trayvon Diggs coming off 1 year with picks but giving up all the yards. It's a veteran presence that's still there who knows how to play the position. Tubby, they call him Tubby, but he did that so he can learn how to fall, Like Marlon Wayans used to say, the big girl's more cushion for the pushing, what I mean? So he might not fall on his head no more. He gonna fall on the shoulder or something, he got that pad in there. So I got the Dolphins winning this one, man. And the track meet at wide receiver and then the running back. Like you're gonna have to come to play when you show up in Miami now.
They still have a chance to go and get Jonathan Taylor. I think that's something that's still in play as well, because we all know he does not want to play in Indianapolis.
And they got BB Diamonds.
And they were the only team that were really making an offer to them. So
I think they if they stay on the phone long enough, they could work something out. I'm with you, Dave.
I think so too. I think that could happen. But I also think Jalen Ramsey helps out another cornerback that's been there for a while, who a lot of people don't talk about, and that's Xavier Howard. I think he helps him as well. So I think that's going to help out that defense. And like I said, they got Jalen Phillips, they got Bradley Chubb. That defense is going to be really good, man. That's one thing that I see. I think that's what's going to change the Dolphins is that defense. This was going to help.
They're going to be legit.
Hey, let me ask y'all one more question though. That same defense had Josh Allen going up against a rookie quarterback in the playoffs and almost won.
Yeah, and that defense got better.
That's all.
So
just saying.
Not facts, man. The Dolphins gonna be they're gonna be one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
Let's go Tubby Tua.
Man, make it happen. Hey, Tua. Matter of fact, call your brother because week 4 we play MSU. So I need that same energy, Let's go Terps. But this one division here is known for glitching,
Hold on, before you do that.
Oh, I'm glitching. Let's go to the IG chat.
Let's go, Dave.
So, thank y'all for everyone who's been watching so far. But now we got to talk about these IG chats that we have. So, with these IG chats, you get all the latest news here first. I was the one that dropped the news about Nick Bosa signing that contract. So, just to let you know, we and there have been multiple times on the show that I've given news while doing the show. So, make sure you pay attention to that. So we have the NBA and the WNBA chat. Shout out to the Washington Mystics who clinched the playoff spot. So let's go Mystics. Let's go Mystics. Let's see if we can make a playoff run and challenge the Aces for that championship. Bring two to the city. Just 2. We ain't asking for a lot. Just bring number 2 to the city. We got the NFL. Shout out to Coach Coon, who has fantasy football with Coons. Joe already talked about that earlier, so make sure you tune in with Coach Coons. He will be having a show, so make sure you tune into that. He did have one recorded earlier, so I think that was a really good show. Shout out to BWT, Baseball with Teddy. Like Joe said, that he's recording tonight. He has a show that'll be coming out tomorrow. Everything that involves baseball goes through there. We have a couple of people in baseball that are just doing some crazy illegal things. So, one guy, I can't say he's in the doghouse. I gotta say he's done. You're done, son. So, he got to go. But it's another guy, Julio, who is now been he's been put on administrative leave. So sorry, guy, you shouldn't be doing nothing illegal. But shout out to Carl, CTC. He covers everything that involves college football, college basketball, men and women. Right now, it's just the focus is college football because college football is going on right now. We still have about 60-something days until college basketball starts. So right now, it's all about college football. He covered Colorado versus TCU. He covered LSU and Florida State. So you want to make sure you tune in. He's going to have a week 2 preview coming up, and he's recording. He'll be going live tonight around 9:30. So make sure you pay attention to that. But then we have the boxing chat, boxing, UFC, and wrestling. Then there's I gotta say this too, because I did say a rest in peace to Bray Wyatt. But I got to say rest in peace to all athletes that have lost their lives untimely. We do have one receiver, Mike Williams, who's actually in the hospital right now, who's not able to move. So prayers to him and his family. Hopefully he's able to make a recovery and actually, get better. But that's the situation right now. There was some news earlier that said that he had passed away, but that is not true. That has come out and say that is not true. So he is actually in the hospital. And he is his eyes are open, but he's not able to move at this moment. So, but in the boxing chat, we actually have 2 fights going on now because Shakur is now fighting Frank Martin, and the rematch has been it's happening. Spence Crawford. Will it be the same result? Who knows? But just know Tomo will be covering that. And after we do this next segment, Tomo will tell you what it takes to join this. Tomo, floor is yours.
So I was glitching out a little earlier. Again, Dave just named all the chats. I promise y'all, if y'all join these chats, you're gonna understand what I mean by that. And speaking of glitches, it started on Madden. Somehow it trickled its way over into YouTube. And now we're gonna see, because we're gonna talk about this AFC North. All right. That was an electric panel. If you haven't watched it, go back and check it out. I promise you. If you don't have a fan of a football team, just go back and watch all those panels, and you might actually want to sign up for a team. But we gotta talk about this AFC North. No, not the Chargers.
Not the Chargers. Mike Williams. This is a Mike Williams that played years ago. Not that Mike Williams.
Yeah. He played for Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yep. Joe, you on mute?
I thought it was the Bucks.
I think he played on both teams.
He played for both of them. He played because he played with Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how young he is. Yeah, I see you thinking. Don't think about it too much right now, because I gotta come to you right quick, because you gotta be the icebreaker for this. AFC North. Who you got?
It was crazy because when you made me go first, y'all was like, "You gonna put me first for the AFC North?" The most toughest division we gotta do. All right. Let's start from the bottom up, okay? Number 4, the Browns. All right. The Browns are the most mysterious, unpredictable team in this division. They could be one of the worst teams in the AFC. They're going to be an average team, or they could flat out win this division. All right. So that's how curious I am with these Browns. But I'm gonna go with them being 4th. All right. I'm not going to count them out. If it happens, it happens. But I'm not putting my money on Deshaun Watson reverting back to who he was already. All right. I saw a big fall off last year from what he was before he got suspended. All right. So I don't know about that. They do have Amari Cooper, People Jones, and Njoku. Yeah, they do have one of the best offensive lines in football and defensive lines, right? They went guys Xavier Smith. And their defense is actually good. Nick Chubb, they got pieces. But Deshaun Watson is my X factor. He looked too bad last year. Nowhere near where he was. Now, if Deshaun Watson could be 85% where he was when he's in Houston, then yeah, they could be a really good team. But I don't know if he's going to be that, to tell you the truth. Even when I saw in the preseason, he didn't look nowhere near this Deshaun Watson. I remember, even in the preseason. So I want to say they're going to be 4. Number 3, Pittsburgh. Number 3. Now, if there are going to be 3 teams come out one division, it's going to be the AFC North. All right?
How you clean that up?
No, for real. I think the Steelers could make the playoffs. I think the Steelers could win 10 games in this division and still lose the division. All right? I think they're going to win 10 games. Now, the Steelers, obviously, they got better just because they grew up. Kenny Pickett got better off of 1 year. George Pickett's going to get better off of another year, right? So, their defense is going to be healthy this year, hopefully. TJ Watt don't get hurt. They added some pieces defensively when they got Pat Pete. They drafted Joey Porter Jr., right? So, they got great pieces. They're still young. And the reason why I don't have them third, because not only Pittsburgh got better, so did the Bengals. Now, Joe Burrow did have an injury, but they went and got another offensive line, stole it from the Chiefs, brought him to the Bengals, and to show the offensive line once again. They could, every year they add another offensive lineman just to help Joe Burrow. Don't forget, Jamal Chase missed 5 or 6 games last year. He's healthy now. T. Higgins is playing for a contract. T. Higgins is trying to get paid, so he has to ball out. All right. So, and Joe Burrow is just better than Kenny Pickett, better than Deshaun Watson. So I got Joe Burrow and the Bengals winning the 2nd seed. And lastly, number 1 seed, the Ravens. I got Lamar winning MVP this year. Winning MVP. All right. Lamar Jackson, dual threat. Got the ball in his hands, scoring out of the pocket. He could take off a 75-yard run, or he could launch that jump to either Odell Beckham, Zay Flowers, Bateman, Aguilar. All right. So they got all these pieces. All right. J.K. Dobbins is healthy, right? He's healthy. He hasn't really played with Lamar for real. Y'all saw what he did when Lamar got hurt. He took over that team. I'm the man. He started killing. And that defense, that Ravens defense was top 3 in scoring last year. Soon they got Roquan Smith on that defense, it was a wrap. They started dominating. They almost, I think somebody said on the panel, they almost beat the Bengals without Lamar Jackson, with Tyler Huntley. Even that last game of the season against the Bengals, they had 5 turnovers and still almost won. So I got the Ravens. The only reason why the Bengals has been winning the division is because Lamar's getting hurt. But I think now because Lamar's paid, he got a contract now. All right, he gonna really play through that injury. He said he can't play through. All right, so I got the Ravens being number 1 seed, Bengals 2nd, Steelers 3rd, Browns 4th.
Wow, that was a good. I like the way you cleaned that up there, because I'm not seeing 3 teams coming out of this division. I can see Pittsburgh winning 10 games, but I don't see 3 teams coming out of this division. Like I said, that panel was so electric, man. I had to go back and watch it before I made my decision, because Dave said the last division was tough for him. It's this one. You talk about quarterbacks. I mean, of course, on the scale of quarterbacks, Pickett would be a step down, but Watson don't look like his normal self. So is he on that same almost tier? Because they both got to show improve. Because like you said, Watson could be 85% of what he was with the Texans. Have we seen it? Have we even seen a flash, a glimpse? I mean, the Kodak, nothing. We haven't seen it yet, So with that being said, I like Amari Cooper, but he only gonna play 8 games. I promise y'all that. Y'all can say I'm hating, but go back and look at the facts. He's gonna give you 8 solid games. That might be the 8 games they need to get him over the hump. I just don't see it. I got the Browns finishing last.
Mm-hmm.
Man, from 3-2-1, this is when it gets ugly, because I looked at the Steelers and I said they could be 3rd, but you got Pickett, and you got Pickens, Then you got the running back. Then you got their defense. You know, the steel curtain. You know, you never know with this team. And then you look at the Ravens. You like, is Lamar Lamar got everything he need now. He got his contract. He got wide receivers. He got a running back. He got defense. He got all that. He got the number one kicker. But is he going to actually stay healthy? That was the only thing that was keeping me on the fence with it. So I got the Ravens finish third because I don't know if Lamar gonna finish the season. And then I had the Steelers coming in at number 2 because, again, I don't like how the disrespect for Dak be there, but I also went back and looked at some plays for Kenny Pickett and the way the team is talking about him and just the way he's taking control of that offense. I think he's going to give them just enough for them to maintain that second seed in this division, and that defense is going to have his back. Again, the only reason Lamar is third is because of the health factor. Of course, Burrow going into the season not healthy, but I mean, coming off a Super Bowl loss, they almost made the Super Bowl again. What can you say? What's going wrong there? And they only got better. They added an extra piece of that offensive line. Joe Mixon took the running back discount so he can come back, so they can keep the nucleus there. And again, I'm gonna steal this one out of your bag, Joe. Until somebody else show me they can win this division, I'm going with the Bengals. So that's my lineup right there. What you got, Dave?
Hey, Dave, before you go, can I address these comments what Javon's throwing out here? All right, we're not scared of Ravens. They gotta stay healthy. Now you banking on the Ravens get injured, then yeah, you got a case, right? Best, you say we got the best coach and the best defense in the division, but you don't have the best quarterback. I'm sorry, you don't.
That's true.
You just don't. All right, you don't have the best quarterback. Like these are elite quarterbacks we're talking about in y'all division. Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, MVP, and Joe Burrow, Super Bowl runner-up, and back-to-back years when he's been in the MVP conversation. Back-to-back years. So the Ravens, every time Lamar is in the lineup, they are the best team in the AFC until he gets hurt every year. So they healthy. And then Joe Burrow, I mean, what else can I say about Joe Burrow? Go ahead, Dave.
So I'm going to scroll up to another comment that I saw when this started.
Okay.
Do me a favor, please.
Thomas, I ain't feel like touching I only feel like going to the south.
So I don't have this same order, but it's not too far off.
Stop the cap.
I have the Bengals also finishing last in this division. Simply because now, for fantasy purposes, I hope that I'm completely wrong about this. I hope that I'm wrong. But I am very, very cautious about Joe Burrow playing healthy. For one, he does not play that well against the Browns. And I think this game could be scary that's the first team that he plays. So I believe, like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I'm not wishing any kind of injury to anyone, but I believe somehow, some way, Joe Burrow is not going to be able to play all 17 games this season. And that's what scares me because his backup is not good enough. I think the Bengals finish last. Third, I have the Browns. I have the Browns finishing third. Simply, one, because of injury, because due to Joe Burrow, I believe, like I said, I believe something may not happen to him. I believe Deshaun Watson does not have a bounce back season, but I believe he plays better than he did last year, seeing as though he didn't. Yes, he had an off season last year, but he was not there throughout all the weeks going up to the last game to where he played. He played at the end of the season pretty much, and he had to pretty much figure out how to run the offense. And when the season was pretty much already done, kind of sort of. I have the Steelers finishing second. So, Tomo, we agreed that the Steelers will finish second. I believe this season, George Pickens will show why he's the best receiver on this team. Now, I believe Deontay Johnson is really good. He's a very underrated receiver, but I believe George Pickens is going to have a monster year this year. I'm thinking he goes for at least 1,300 yards and about 10, 11 touchdowns.
Dang.
I think he's going to have a great season this year. I really do. I like the way, I like what I'm hearing from camp. I like what I saw in preseason, even though it's just preseason. I love what this kid is made of. JJ Watt is back healthy. I mean, not JJ Watt, but TJ Watt. Sorry. Charge it to my head, not my heart, Vaughn. TJ Watt is back healthy. I believe that's going to be a major difference in this team's defense. So that's going to help them get to the second seed. And I believe they go back to the playoff this year with Mike Tomlin and that defense. And I believe Pickens is going to have a better year this year as well. Now, Ravens are going to finish first. And Joe, I'm with you. I also have Lamar winning MVP this year.
Oh, really? Dang. I also have Lamar Jackson winning MVP this year. But I also have something else I want to say about MVP. Because I believe if the Browns play great, Deshaun Watson will win MVP. If they play great. Cook now. I mean, that's easy. If they play great. I mean,
I'm just saying he has the tools. The last time he played a full season, he led the league in passing.
Did they make the playoffs?
They did not. I'm just saying.
I was making sure.
I'm just saying it could happen. This is a very different team. Remember, he did not have DeAndre Hopkins during that time, and he still led the league in passing. So he has Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones. He still has Nick Chubb back there, so that's possible. But I believe the Ravens win this division. I believe Lamar Jackson has another great season. I'm not going to say he throws for 4,000 yards. I'm going to say he throws for 3,500 yards this year. I say he throws for 3,500, but also runs over, I'm going to say 8 to 1,000 yards this year. And the total, I'm saying about 35 touchdowns altogether. So I believe he's going to have a great year this year with Odell, Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So I got Ravens winning this division.
Yeah, he might he might rack up these touchdowns. That's what I think he's going to do, and they're going to win a lot of games. You know, so that's why I got him MVP. So there it is. But Deshaun Watson win MVP? Nah.
For me, he's just a dark horse if he just gets it together. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I didn't say it will. I'm just saying he's very capable of doing that because he has a full off season and he actually is focused on football and not all those cases that he had. He had a lot to do with last season. So I believe it's going to be a little bit different.
You on mute, Tomo? You pulling me?
Oh man! All right, I got a nice rebuttal about the Browns, but I'm gonna leave it in the chats. So when I tell y'all how to click that link in the description, cliffhanger. But it's definitely about them Browns. Still on mute.
No, you ain't for me.
Oh, all right, you got me. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Right.
Make sure y'all click that link in the description so you can become a member. Because I'm telling you, I might start something tonight. I'm gonna leave, but I'm gonna start something. I'm gonna pull a Dave. So click the link in the description. You become a member today. We got 3 levels for you. We have the pro level, the all-star, and the superstar. The pro level at $2.99, you get loyalty badges next to your name in the comments and live chats. You also get priority comments, and you get to join one sports chat. If you don't know about the chats, skip forward about 15 to 30, maybe not even 30. Put your skip on like 15 seconds and keep hitting it, and then you'll see the chats pop up. Instagram, only place you can find them. You skip up to the all-star level, you get to join the multiple chats, you get the member-only videos. We got a lot of exclusive content coming to you with this football season, the NBA season coming up. Palo Top 5. I'm going to just throw that out there. There you go. You get to join multiple chats again. Skip forward, find out what chats they are, and you get to request a topic or a segment nominee. Segments are You're Done, Son, Not So Average Top 5, and Dave's Doghouse. Dave said the Doghouse coming back. I'm not going to tell y'all who win it, but I got an idea. Skip to the next level. You like, you know what? Oh, the all-star level $4.99 a month. I just want to let y'all know. It ain't free. It's $4.99. And then you can skip to the superstar level. You get the same perks from both the all-star and the pro level. For $9.99 a month, you get to join the R2L chat. That's where this actual comment is going to go. So you might want to pay that $9.99. You get to be a guest on the show. Not saying you got to come, but you can be a guest on the show. You know, you get awards and plaques to the top performers. We got an award ceremony episode. Go check that out so you get a better understanding. It's basically based upon the numbers that your episode did. And you get member shout outs. So I want to say shout out to all of our members. Y'all know who y'all are. Nah, I'm just playing. Shout out to Vaughn, Coach, Cardo, Teddy, myself, Dave, Joe, Donnell, and Jerry. These are our superstar members right now. Make sure you click that link in the description so you can become one as well. Get that shout out, join the show so you can be part of this greatness that we call Refuse to Lose. Take it away, Joe.
Shout out to Vaughn again for being a superstar. In case you didn't hear us. All right. So, yeah, that was our mistake yesterday. All right, let's wrap this up, y'all. Get some last words in. So, look, my last words are this. I am a believer in the Commanders. Y'all, you know how I post the IG videos all in Sacramento year? Y'all gonna see the same thing about the Commanders. Watch. Y'all gonna see the same about the Commanders. I'm gonna get back on that. So, yeah, it's gonna be a big year for us, man. We're gonna prove a lot of people wrong. Listen, everybody in the R2L family, they send out their predictions as far as playoff seeding, Super Bowl matchup, Super Bowl winner. All those will come out as a reel and a YouTube short all day tomorrow. Like every 30 minutes going to be a new one coming out. That's like 14, 15 of them. All right. So I'm looking forward to that. Plus, we did votes on like, you know, funniest person in the chat, all that stuff. I will reveal those. Huh?
Oh, we get the results. That's what's up. Everybody asked about that like a few weeks ago.
I know, right? Yeah. So we're gonna reveal that Thursday, right? Tomorrow, right before the game. So because tomorrow's a big day, y'all. Football is kicking off tomorrow. Woo! Can't wait. So I'm excited. And lastly, you know, I gotta end it with this. Sasha. I'm just playing, but they're gonna hate me in the NBA season. I can't wait. Woo! Hashtag Swiper MVP season. Like the beat.
My last words. That's all I gotta say. The Bears back. So, Kev, I know we agreed on some of these segments, but I'm still throwing that $200 bet. Especially, you know what? I'm gonna say my comments. But $200 bet. It's still on the table.
We'll vote. I sent you the Jones.
Oh my goodness.
Then vote. I sent you the DM.
That was like a month ago, Kev. Come on, man.
He was still suffering from that Super Bowl loss. That's what it was. That Super Bowl loss.
They call it Super Bowl hangover, right? You know what they call it?
Man, slip and slide, slide, take it to the house. My last words is, man, shout out to everybody who's helping this network grow. To the new subscribers, shout out to you too. To the new members, shout out to you, and shout out to my brothers on this panel, man. Y'all make coming on this episode. I mean, coming on the show easy work. Like all the hard work and like research that you do in the background. Sometimes I just get on here and be like, forget them notes. Let's just run with it because that's how much fun we be having up here. But you do need your notes because once Joe gets serious, you better go back to that notepad. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, shout out to y'all.
First of all, he did respond to the message and he did answer the questions. FYI, y'all. He answered the question July 31st, 3:58 p.m.
200. We got to get out of here. He said 200.
We're going to take it to the chat.
No, it ain't the game.
We're going to take it to the chat. Take it to the chat.
There you go. Click the link in the description.
There you go. All right, y'all. That's all we have for y'all today, and we'll see y'all next episode.
Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all the next episode.